When you go in, if you were pro se, your judge is going to go to the lawyer first. I don't think I've seen it any other way, honestly. Like, even if you're pro se, they're going to go to the lawyer first. So the judge is going to call on the lawyer to say everything. Then you take notes during this time. And then once she is done, once Amanda's done with saying what she needs to say, then the judge will turn to you and ask you, do you agree or do you not agree? And then you just usually say, you look at your notes and you tell them, okay, look, this is what I agree with. This is what I don't agree with. I think that I don't agree with what they said, the opposing counsel said. Yeah.
The judge even gives you an opportunity to speak being pro se, because Chris, healing, Chris.
Hi, nice to meet you. No, I've always been able to talk pro se. I've never had any issue not talking pro se, and I don't think that I've ever run into issue. Did somebody tell you they ran into an issue like that?
We have our judge.
Wow.
We had our hearings adjourned because we didn't have a lawyer. We have been literally stopped mid-sentence and said, court is adjourned, because he didn't want to hear what we had to say.
Oh, wow.
What is evidence, and just doesn't want to hear anything we have to say.
Right. So yes, it does happen. It really does. But either way, that's how it's supposed to work. That's how it's supposed to happen. Is, like you said, either way, they're going to talk to the attorney first, regardless what they're going to talk to that attorney.
Yeah.
And then they'll come to you and let you speak, and then you're able, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but that was
just saying is, like, you just got to be careful. Like, I've never had an issue where they have not addressed me, but I've also had lawyers in the same case. So because in my case, the opposing counsel and the opposing party was filing all kinds of motions. I was filing all kinds of motions because it was complete madness, right? So we had like 4 different filings all at the same time. We both had domestic violence restraining orders filed. We had the main paperwork, which is the divorce dissolution. We had that there. And I had to go in to the actual divorce, with the assets and everything like that, because they were going to, if I didn't respond within 30 days, they were going to lock up everything, so that's what I was stuck at. And I know, Amanda, you had said something like that had also happened in your case too, or something. You have 30 days to file. Basically what it is, it's kind of like straight line. You have 30 days to file an appeal, 30 days to file, your response. I would just say rule of thumb. Yeah.
We have 14 and 21 days. So I can't remember which one the 14 day is. Yeah. And then the 21 day. But the whole thing is, though, you get it in there. And well, now I know everything's electronic. You have to go in there and e-file everything. But before, when I was going through, it was literally, you had to file it. And it would take the clerks forever. And you'd be like, well, why isn't my stuff going? Why am I not getting paperwork? Because they're taking their time filing it.
Yeah.
See, I would get stuff in there and they wouldn't even file it. They would tell me they filed it. It's like I was telling you today. I had them email me my whole case record a couple years ago, and there was so much stuff that's not even there that I filed.
Oh, wow.
Like evidence.
Well, they're supposed to actually stamp it, like when you go in there.
They did. They would fight me like tooth and nail, and they tried getting me to pay for the hearings and stuff like that. And I don't know what Amanda did, but I know with me, I forced them and I never had to pay anymore. I didn't have to pay filing fees. I didn't have to pay nothing. And I would go in there and I would submit like evidence. Like I know there was one time I submitted 83 pictures of my son. Well, first they mailed them back to me and said I couldn't fail them. And then I went in there and jumped the clerk of the courts and held her accountable and said, you're not a judge. You're not a lawyer. If you do this, I will have you arrested. And then they filed them and stamped everything and gave it back. But it's not in none of my records.
Well, I'm kind of running into that right now, but it was just a clerical error by the lawyers. They just didn't file anything, because we had actually made an agreement and we actually went before the judge and everything. And the agreement is not listed in the minute order at all. And I actually went into the clerk's office to see like what was there, just to kind of brainstorm with him, like, okay, what's going on with my case? What do you see? I said, this is the last thing I got found filed, and he said, sure enough, he's like, where are you at in your case? And I told him, I said, well, I think it was a lawyer error. So the lawyers never filed the last motion. So, and like I told Amanda, like we always have to be honest with the courts, and I was just honest with the courts. And I said, yeah, we did submit, an agreement. But basically what happened is my case is, I went through all the same stuff like Amanda went through, like the false accusations, submitting my evidence to get my child back, going through supervised visits, all that other stuff. And I was wrongly, like falsely accused of all kinds of different stuff. So I survived basically the silver bullet, and then I still maintain custody of my child. And he was just delivered to my house with a suitcase and a backpack in October, and so now I have him full time. And now I'm like, okay, I ran out of money after I've been fighting for the last 3 years. to maintain, my parenting rights, which doesn't make sense at all because like I paid these lawyers like $40,000 and that's not even counting what the opposing counsel paid. He had 2 lawyers at one time. And it's like, it's insanity.
See, I lost everything. I had a major silver bullet. I was actually looking at life in prison. I did a little over 6 months in jail. I've got a felony on me now. So after I got out of jail, I spent a couple years. That's when I ran into Amanda, and I got several lawyers, spent thousands of dollars, and none of them did anything for me. And I lost my kid even more.
Yeah.
Well, when I went pro se, and I started holding the courts accountable and fighting, dude, it was horrible. They were trying to arrest me, saying I was threatening the judge and everything else. But when I went pro se, the thing that helped me win my case was filing objections to everything the referees and the judges would say about me. And if you don't file objections to what they say negative about you, they take it as fact. And if they take it as fact and you don't fight it, now that's who they think you are. Well, when I started objecting to everything, all of a sudden I got my kid back, and I had to have supervised visits. I was paying for supervised visits, and then I ended up getting non-paid supervised visits, so I didn't have to pay for it, and got my kid back. But now I'm going through hell again in a different way. So,
what are you guys doing, by the way?
I don't know who that is. I'm trying to set. Hold on, let me block her. Go ahead and keep talking.
It's Shane Coyle.
So,
huh?
Yeah.
I ended up getting my kid back, and then I was in the courts, and now we're out of the courts. We're completely out of the courts, but now I'm paying hell for it. I told Amanda, I talked to her last night about it, and yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of in a stuck position. Why I'm doing this right now.
Yeah, I know it's gonna be a mess. Amanda, go ahead and talk. I got to do some stuff real quick to keep these people.
Just don't accept them if we don't know them.
No, I'm trying to correct it. So go ahead and talk. Okay, I will be there in a second.
All right. So like what Chris was saying, we had the same judge. Are you okay with me stating the county?
Oh, absolutely.
So we were both out of Ottawa County, Michigan, and we both had the same judge. He's a chief judge, John Van Allsburg. And